Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Haribol Bhima
Hari.
Prabhu. I
Hari.
think we can just wait for some time to start
Yeah.
let devotee join.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We can wait for 1 more minute to let devotees join. I think we can start at 5 or 5. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We can start. Haribol, could
Yes,
everybody
Prabhuji.
else Prabhu, do I have to put on video, or can we show? What can you point the camera to Lord Jug? Or is he? Are they on? Are they on the altar? Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra?
Yes, yes, I can do that, Prabhuji.
Please.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes.
Yeah. Yashodanandana Prajajana Yamunthira Vanacha Yamunthira Vanacha. Hare Krishna. Could the devotees that are present in this intimate gathering, can they unmute themselves and announce their presence?
Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes. Kashik. Who else?
Hare Krishna.
Hi, Heidi. Haribo. Heidi Devi
Haribo.
Dasi. And Dakshina. Mataji. My favorite Mataji. Who else do we have? Chandan. There's a good picture. Raj. So long.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanwad. Please accept my
Haribo. Please accept mine. All glories to your service. Krishnan. Haribo.
Haribol, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. All right, so we're going to be doing this class, thank God, thank Krishna, with a darshan of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. Can we get a zoom? Can you like put your two fingers on there and zoom in? Zoom in on their lordships. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Chanavalabha Giri Varadari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Anachari Jamunatira Anachari Jaya Madhava Kunja Bihar Jaya Gopi Chanavallabha Girivaradha Jaya Gopi Chanavallabha Girivaradha Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari. Hare Krishna. Everybody hear me okay? Am I too loud? Am I too soft? I got to take a deep breath. Oh,
You're perfect,
always...
Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. This is always scary. Giving class makes you account for everything you've done in the past year or the last time that you've given class. I don't know why they asked me. They must have kept running out of substitutes. But I would just like to say, first to give my obeisances unto our Param Guru. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayane Nirvishesha Srinavadi Pashchitate Jatane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Gadadhara Shivasa 1, 2, 3 Gaura Bhakta. I go 1, 2, 3 after Srivas because one of my favorite pastimes, Srivas. Lord Chaitanya was saying, Srivas, how is it that you don't worry about money or the upkeep of your family? So many in-laws and brothers live with you. And how is it that you're feeding everybody? You must have to, how do you do it? What shall you do? How can you, aren't you anxious about your maintenance? And Srivas said, his answer was just 1, 2, 3. And Lord Chaitanya said, what does that mean? And Srivas says, if 3 times I go without food, then that means Krishna doesn't want me to live, or my family suffers at all in poverty. That means Krishna does not want me to go on, and I will throw myself in the Yamuna River. So Lord Chaitanya was very enthused and very happy with that response, that Srivas was completely dependent. Now remember, Srivas had kirtan every night in his house. So for anybody in anxiety, economically speaking, even health-wise or otherwise, 1, 2, 3. Just remember, Srivas says you have nothing to worry about whatsoever. If you always remember that Krishna is your provider, he's the reservoir. And if he doesn't provide, that's his will. Of course, we always must do our best. But ultimately, if we have an hour to think about how to make money, we also have that same hour to chant Krishna's names, to pray to Krishna, to read about his lila, his pastimes. And that's what we're discussing today. Snan Yatra, Krishna's lila as Jagannath and Baladev and Subhadra, public installation, Pradyumna, installing the first public festival of bathing, Abhishek, with 108 vessels of different substances to bathe Jagannath. Hold on, my computer just 108. There we go. And let me get back to yeah. So we're celebrating this, and this is what you do before. This is sort of Jagannath's appearance day. We have Janmastami, but we also have Jagannath's appearance day as well. And I'm going to preface this whole thing. Hopefully I don't run out of time because I just did so much research, being not a well-versed devotee. So I just wanted to make sure I had things straight in my heart and my head regarding Lord Jagannath. It came to me that when I was singing Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Janavalabha Giri Baradari, Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Jamuna Tira Vandachari, that this is the foundation, as the French call it, the raison d'etre, the reason for being. Oh. It figures. Hold on. Boys, come on. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Just see. I wonder what Krishna meant by that. I let the dogs out. The English is Krishna is the lover of Radha. He displays many amorous pastimes in the groves of Vrindavan. He is the lover of cowherd maidens, Vraj, and the holder of the great hill named Govardhan. He is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the delighter of the inhabitants of Raj, and he wanders in the forest along the banks of the river Yamuna for his amorous pastimes. So this is why Jagannath and Baladev and Subhadra appear as they do. And I'm going to tell, hopefully, in the time that we have, be able to relate this story in succinct, so that we can better understand, though probably many of you already know the story, but it bears repeating because you cannot repeat the lead. It's now it's ever fresh. Navayogana, ever youthful. These pastimes appear in our hearts. They enliven us from within to without. And that's why we have deities, so that when we see Krishna, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra in those forms, they remind us of what Krishna is all about. And this bathing of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, when those of you who are lucky to be there and actually doing the bathing or pulling the cart, or those Daitya Patis who in the Gundicha temple take care of the Lord when he's sick, personal service to the Lord. This is all reflective of what goes on in your heart with Krishna. This relationship is from your sanctum sanctorium, the heart of hearts where Krishna resides. And that's why when we recite these pastimes, discuss these leelas, and talk about Krishna's rupa form, his leela, the prem that flavors, ras, the essential flavor of these leelas, why it enlivens us. So these pastimes in Vrindavan that are mentioned in this song, Prabhupada's favorite song that he sung before Bhagavatam class, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. This is what Krishna and Subhadra, who's guarding the door, and Baladev, they were all listening in secret to this ladies' sangam. See, the queens of Dwarka did not know why Krishna had trouble sleeping. He did not sleep at night because he was always remembering. He was always remembering family affair. He was always remembering the pastimes in Vrindavan. And these were his delight. He never forgot them. Vipralamba was in separation. Not only was Radharani and the Gopas, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, heartbroken in separation. They said that when Krishna left Vrindavan with the Karura, that it was like a painting because everybody was just standing still. Nothing was changing. It was like the life went out of Vrindavan. And Krishna, who said that the residents of Vrindavan are the life of my life. Okay, they give me the reason to live. Said that the gopis were the life of that life, that within Vrindavan, they were his joy. And then amongst the gopis, his greatest joy was his pastimes and his sambhoga, his union, his intimacy, his times on the banks of the Jamuna, under the full moon, the Rasa Lila. in that sacred love play, prema. And when he had to leave Vrindavan and establish Dwarka, of course, that ras was not there. That intimacy wasn't there. Now he had the queens, and they loved him, and it is a pure love. Mathura, pure love. It's all pure love, but a different ras. But the queen of all the rasas, the mother of all the rasas, is Sringara ras, the ras of desire. Desire, as Prabhupada said, is the basis of everything. One can become a pure devotee by desire alone. By desire alone. One can read many books, one can chant many rounds, one can, do many different external acts. But if you don't desire if you don't desire naturally, like as Prabhupada said in one of his purports in the Bhagavad Gita, like a young girl wanting to associate with a young boy she has got a crush on, so to speak. If it does not come out from the sanctum, the sacred part of your heart, then all these things that you do become external. Deity worship becomes external. Chanting even becomes external, as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said that it was simply the lip movement rather than heart singing and heart calling. So these things are present within Krishna also, being the reservoir of this ras. Let me get to my page here. I get so nervous I don't even know how to operate. So this celebration of Snan Yatra, the installation of Jagannath, the celebration of it, and the public bathing and the public procession, and the public healing, well, actually it's a private healing. It all begins with a deity called Nila Madhava. Now, Nila means blue, dark blue, like a sapphire. See, that's what Krishna was dark blue, but he was dark blue like a sapphire. So that blue, if you've ever looked at sapphire in the light, it's a blue that glows. It's a blue that entices. It's a blue that enchants. It's a blue you can fall into. And Madhava, well, Madhava means many different things depending on how you combine, how you divide up that compound word Madhava. Madhava, Madhura, they stem Sanskrit from sweetness. Now, the four sweetnesses of Krishna would be Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, Lila Madhuri, and Prema Ras Madhuri. These are the four things that separate Krishna from Vishnu. The four qualities that are not present anywhere else. And they are present in Jagannath, because Jagannath is not a manifestation of Vishnu. Jagannath is a manifestation of Krishna at his happiest, most ecstatic state. That's why he has a smile, Jagannath, from ear to ear. And that's why Jagannath has big round eyes. Because when the ladies of Dwarka, the queens of Dwarka, who were pure devotees, could not understand why Krishna would mumble in his sleep about the pastimes in Vrindavan and call out names of the gopis, especially Radharani. They did not know. They had no idea. They had not lived it. They had not experienced it. They were involved in their particular service, their particular domestic tranquility. their love for Krishna. But it was tinged with Aishvarya, with Krishna's opulence. And they could not understand why he was constantly Vipralamba in sorrow, in separation from Vrindavan. So when they all met in Kurukshetra, when Dwarka came together with Vrindavan, the ladies were asking, why is Krishna always talking about Vrindavan? And they went around asking. Rohini decided to call a ladies' sangha, all the queens and Mother Rohini. And Mother Rohini, behind closed doors, they asked Subhadra to guard the door. We in ISKCON have ladies' sangha, no men allowed, so that the discussion may be untainted by that presence. Sort of like the Rasa Leela, no men allowed. For after all, there is only one man in Vrindavan, one male. That's why Shiva, Arjun, Narada all had to take a dip in the lake Manasarova, Radharani's tears, in order to become female, to understand the Rasa Leela, this intimacy, this queen of all rasas, Prema Ras. So back to the beginning. Now I left you with the story of Krishna and Rohini talking to the queens of Dwarka. But it all began with Nila Madhava. Nila Madhava, dark blue, and Madhava being the sweetness. Madhava can also be divided up into Madhava, or the consort mother the mother of the universe, Yoga Maya, Durga, or even greater than that, were all extensions of Yoga Maya, Vrinda Devi, the consort of the mother of the universe, who is who? Radha. Whether it be Vrinda or Yoga Maya, or Durga, Ma Devi is simply an extension into this material universe of Radharani. So any way you got it, any way you say the name, any way you divide it, Krishna's got the name covered. So Nila Madhava was originally worshipped by King Vishwabasu. Uh-oh. Did I lose anybody? Can somebody talk? Because my phone is... Temple Hall has started. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. So in the Skanda Purana, King Indradyumna fought with King Vishwabasu for the exclusive rights to, I'm going to have to go fast because I want to cover so much. I've only got a half hour left. For the exclusive rights to worship Nila Madhava. And because of that, this was huge armies fighting, two Vaishnavas fighting over how to worship Krishna. Boy, do we have any modern examples of that? I don't know. Maybe we should think amongst ourselves if we have any examples of Vaishnavas fighting over each other, over exclusivity, over certain aspects of worshiping Krishna. One would think Krishna would be pleased, but that's if the fighting is done in love. These were armies fighting over one deity, Nila Madhava. And Krishna said, forget it, I'm out of here. And created a big, according to the Skanda Purana, huge sandstorm and just covered it all up, covered up Nila Madhava and covered up the temple. And they couldn't find it. And they were deeply remorseful. They repented. Both of them prayed for forgiveness. And so the Lord said, I will reappear again in a wooden form. And then, we know the story of 3 logs floating. And the Lord said, coming up on the beach, Puri, Nila, what's the, before Puri was Nila Cha, I'll figure it out later. You will carve my new form with the help of Vishvakarma. And so in the end, both King Vishvabasu and Indradyumna had to cooperate. Okay, and to this day, King Indradyumna being represented by the Vaishnavas, the Brahmin class, the official formal worship, the temple building, and then King Vishvabasu being represented by the Daityapatis, who are the original descendants of the Shabaras, which was who Vishvabasu was, of Nila Madhava, the original worshippers. And these are Aborigine jungle, very simple, but they are true devotees. They don't get any dakshin, they don't take any donations, or very rarely, and these devotees would die for Lord Jagannath. They do all the most dangerous types of service. So both sides, that sort of spontaneous worship, that stripped down heart-to-heart worship by the Daityapatis, and then, of course, the more formal, organized, social worship of Jagannath Puri in the temples. And these are combined together in the worship of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. So, as we all know, Vishvakarma it made certain stipulations. The stipulations were broken, and it appeared as if these deities were not finished. The arms were not finished. The face was not finished as we see them today. These were the original, are the original form of the first deities carved by Vishvakarma. And everybody thought at that time, of course, that they're unfinished. But it's actually what the Lord wanted. And now this takes us back to the ladies' Sangha of Mother Rohini talking about the Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha, Giri Varadari, Yashoda Nandana, Raja Jana Ranjana. All these pastimes. Go to the Gita Govinda, which is recited daily. Those of you there. Actually, I'm under the understanding that you can't read the Gita Govinda until you are ready to read the Gita Govinda. Krishna will make sure either you are completely in Maya, or he'll find something else for you to do. But you really can't understand the Gita Govinda by Jayadev and the true import of the intimacy of Krishna and Radha, and the true import of Prema Ras, of Mahabhav, of Krishna in you, Krishna within your heart. You can't leave this out of your devotion. Otherwise, you will seek it in this world, because it is the nature of our soul to love and be loved on all levels. My dogs are agreeing with me. Stop it. You know how many times I've yelled out into the neighborhood when Rama and Krishna go trucking down the street, and I get to drive my van down the street yelling, Rama, Krishna, yeah, Rama, Krishna. And I'm thinking Rama and Krishna, the Lord. They don't know, and the people in the neighborhood don't know, but they get to hear the name over and over at 7 a.m. in the morning. Hare Krishna. Back to the story. So Krishna, through his four, like Nila Madhava, the sweetness, the four sweetnesses, Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan are so moving to the heart that they're even moving and astonishing and shocking to Krishna. Now, Subhadra was alone guarding the door at this lady's sangha, and Subhadra was, of course, overhearing, and her eyes grew wide, and she was stunned, and she had to hold on to herself. She had to grip herself. She, if you all just take your hands right now and hold your shoulders like you're experiencing something that's unbelievable, shocking, beautiful, and not almost, actually overwhelming to the deepest part of you. And that's how Subhadra felt when she was hearing about these pastimes related by Mother Rohini, who is an extension of Vrinda Devi, who, by the way, Vrinda Devi sees it all. So this story isn't secondhand. This story is firsthand. And she was telling it firsthand account to the queens of Dwarka. And so Subhadra gripped her shoulders and she fainted. And that's why you don't see any arms on Subhadra, because they're wrapped around her. She had all she could do to hold herself together. And then Balabhadra, comes wandering by. And he's like, Subhadra, what's going on? And he bent down. And when he bent down, his ear came near the door and he was hearing the stories. And he himself was shook up. He pulled his arms to his side and he made fists and his eyes grew wide. We cannot even begin to imagine what it is like to hear these pastimes firsthand from Vrinda Devi or Mother Rohini. This was real. People like devotees like myself, you know, uh, we can only guess, we can only imagine. We don't use that name, we don't use that word much, imagine, but we have to create an image, imagine, an image inside us. We try to create the sentiment inside us. I wonder what it was like, Kunjabihari, Giri Varadari, to gather under a hill, being lifted to protect us. But we can try to relate in the fact that when times are like Indra's reigns, like this COVID, economy, our health, family members dying, any times. This never been a time when the world wasn't falling apart. It was falling apart from the very beginning. Krishna designed it that way. It's planned obsolescence. Even car manufacturers know about planned obsolescence. We become obsolete. This earth will, our lives, our bodies have planned obsolescence. It's Krishna's arrangement to get us used to gripping on and to gather under the Govardhan Hill, Krishna's shelter. Look at me. That's why he placed himself in the middle. Giri Varadari, look at me. That's why he was in the middle. I got this with my pinky. I got this with my pinky. Just gather around. So these are the pastimes related. The reality, it was real. And it can be real in our life if we just always remember that Krishna's got Govardhan over our head in these times. Whether they're personal times of great trauma or social times, as in now. But listen, I remember as a kid the Vietnam War. My sister was a hippie. I remember not really understanding what was going on, but I remember the horror. I remember, my parents remember the horror of World War II, World War I. It never ends. This isn't new. The world isn't just falling apart. The world is always falling apart. But 1, 2, 3. We can always take shelter in Krishna. So these pastimes were being related to the queens of Dwarka. And these pastimes were so moving and so stunning that even Subhadra and Balaram were stunned and knocked out, just laying there. And then along came Krishna. Now, the one thing about Krishna is he listened long enough and his eyes grew not only just large, but round. And when your eyes grow round like Jagannath's eyes, that means you're like the world is round. Or when you circumference something, he inside, he was taking it all in. He was reliving everything. It was fresh from the lips of Rohini, and it was being shared like Sankirtan, Sankirtan. Like his glories were being sung amongst the devotees. So Krishna was not only enjoying it directly, but also enjoying the fact that his devotees, the love of his life, the queens, were hearing this. Finally, they were going to understand. He would have some company, some commiseration. He would have some company in this Vipralamba, this separation. And the ladies of Vrindavan were there. And I will end this in a little bit about his meeting with Radharani. And his eyes grew round and his smile from ear to ear. And he became stunned, pulled his arms in, and a big smile because he was remembering. He was ecstatic. Krishna is always happy, but Jagannath is extra happy. He is para happy. I don't even know the Sanskrit word for happy, I forget. But he was overjoyed. He was para blissful. He was the happiest person in the universe. That's Jagannath. Snan Yatra is the bathing, getting ready to show Krishna happy. And with his brother and his sister, parading out into the universe. He's not just the happiest person at Kurukshetra. He's not just the happiest person in the world. He's not just the happiest person in this material universe. Krishna is the happiest. And when we associate with Lord Jagannath, well, let me ask a question. All of you, all of us should ask ourselves always when we are troubled or doubtful. And we can know that we're troubled or doubtful when we're anxious. And that little bit of heart tremulation happens when the world gets us down, when the news gets us down, when we get a little bit fearful. Ma Suchaha, do not fear, just surrender unto me. When we get a little bit doubtful, that the reason why we joined Krishna consciousness, the reason why that I joined Krishna consciousness, in the end held on, was because, not because the world is so troubled or the philosophy of the world, alienation, angst, the age of anxiety. We saw our parents in America, especially. I grew up, my parents were upper middle class. They weren't happy at all. Okay. But it wasn't just because we were troubled, because nothing makes sense, but because we wanted to be happy. And when we met the devotees, They were happy. And we just couldn't figure out. When I met Radhanath Maharaj, there was this quiet contentment, this quiet joy that he had. And it came out every once in a while when he would laugh and his shoulders would shake. And I remember seeing Prabhupada pictures of Prabhupada with that as Mother, I believe it was Mother, called oceanic smile of Srila Prabhupada. And you can tell it's instinct. You can tell true joy. Lord Jagannath has an oceanic smile because it stretches across the ocean. Lord Jagannath was brought over here. That's why naturally, one would think in the Western Hemisphere, we've never seen Jagannath. We don't know anything about worshiping idol, deities that look like human beings. What about deities that look like this? It's inexplicable. But what wasn't inexplicable was the joy the devotees had dancing and pulling the cart. And then when you start hearing about the stories of Lord Jagannath, that he's out, he's for everyone. He's for everyone. Even those who aren't even devotees, they can enjoy the music and the prasad. Huh? He's for everyone. He's not Hindu Nath. He's not Bharatvash Nath. He's Jagat, universal Lord for everyone. And we celebrate this by bathing him, getting him ready, making him presentable. Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. And he catches a little cold, but that's a whole nother story. The intimate service that he receives, the Gundicha temple, the gopis that serve him, the Devadasis, the songs, the intimacy. And so anyways, back to the ladies' Sangha in Kurukshetra. So they were laying there like three logs. So see how Krishna works things out. So he tells them three logs. He tells King Indradyumna and Bishop Vasu that yes, indeed, I am finished, and paint my face like this, and this is how it shall be. Krishna comes along and faints, and third time's a charm, big smile, ear to ear. Three lords, drunk, intoxicated, inebriated with divine love, because that's what it's all about. Stop thinking that this love is free. Oh, I'll just be miserable. No, when you chant, when you read Krishna's pastimes, read. Prabhupada said, watch you people used to distribute thousands of books. And did you know a lot of them, these devotees who distribute many books, and they will have lifetimes, not lifetimes, but they get so much benefit from that. But people were so hung up on doing that they didn't even know why. You know why I know this? Because that's what I did. For 10 years, I was on the road in a van making lots of Lakshmi to help build New Vrindavan. But I really didn't know anything about Lord Jagannath except that he was smiling and that he was for everyone. And that was enough for me. That was enough. I studied philosophy. I minored in philosophy and writing. And I wasn't ready to hear the story. I wasn't ready to hear the real story of Lord Jagannath. I mean, I was on the road. I was doing. And, when I finally, it took the time to find out the story, well, then, it became more heartfelt. So Lord Jagannath takes the party to the streets. And those who have the desire, as Christ said, those who have ears to hear will hear. Those who have eyes to see will see. If you have the desire, okay? Prema ras. By the way, the color of prem ras. Okay, there's hasya ras, the comedy, the laughter, the exuberation of the heart, laughing. That color that's in aesthetics, in Vedic aesthetics, is white, thus Balaram. Right? The color for frame ras is dark blue, or as Jagannath is painted, very deep, deep storm cloud blue, almost black. So Jagannath brings us all together, all of us, Patita Pavana, even the most fallen. That's why I was into it. We understand that he is happy, and if we associate with Lord Jagannath, then we become happy. That's what association is all about. We associate with the Supreme Lord in his most happy form. And remember, happiness doubles when we share it, right? And misery is cut in half when we have someone who will help us, right? So we sing his glories, we take him to the Gundicha temple, we clean the Gundicha temple like our hearts. And who cleans the Gundicha temple best? Lord Chaitanya, yes, alone. He made a pile 10 times the size of all the devotees. They were on their hands and knees trying to get the dust, cleaning that Gundicha temple, which is the heart. And if you notice, Lord Jagannath goes to the Gundicha temple because that's even more intimate than where he's at in Jagannath Puri in the temple there, because that's where he's taken care of intimately. So let Lord Jagannath smile ear to ear in your heart. Just always remember that. Just remember that. Just like they tell you, those people online or whatever, that if you just smile, if you fake smile, if you just smile, then all of a sudden you will be happy. The motion, it's sort of like devotion. Like we might not feel devotional. Like Prabhupada, somebody asked, what if I don't feel like dancing and during kirtan, I don't feel it? Prabhupada said, dance anyways, and then you will feel it. So just imagine Lord Jagannath. Imagine Krishna outside the door of the lady's sangha, listening into his own pastimes. Just take the time to reimagine, and you will get happy. And you will be overjoyed, and you will smile ear to ear, and your eyes widen like saucers. Or if you find your eyes widening like saucers, then Krishna is really penetrating. I'd like to end this with an extract, a quote from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I forgot to write down exactly where, but you'll all be familiar with this. It's one of the most romantic and endearing verses. It is when Krishna was with Radharani in Kurukshetra. Radharani said to him when they were alone, the very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of the malati flowers is there. The same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kandamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover. Yet my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva, Yamuna, under the Vetavasi tree. That is my desire. You are that same Krishna. I am that same Radharani. We are meeting again in the same way that we met at the beginning of our lives. Although we are both the same, my mind is still attracted to Vrindavan Dham. I wish that you will please again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. In Kurukshetra, there are crowds of people, elephants, horses, and also the rattling of chariots. But in Vrindavan, there are flower gardens, kunjas, the humming of bees, and the chirping of the birds can be heard. Here at Kurukshetra, you were dressed like a royal prince, accompanied by great warriors. But in Vrindavan, you appeared just like an ordinary cowherd boy, accompanied only by your flute. So, this is the story of Jagannath. I hope I reminded you that when you look at Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, you understand the expression on their faces. And you understand their expression that through Krishna's grace, Prabhupada's grace, and the Guru Dev's grace, you feel or will soon feel in your heart. I have nothing more to say in this matter. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions? Can there be any questions? Haribol? Did I lose everybody?
No, Prabhu, we are good.
Well, I'm waiting for questions. Anything or comments. Please forget the questions. I don't know anything. Comments, anybody? Quickly, we have 3 minutes left. Even a Haribol. I think everybody went away.
Haribol. The
Haribol,
temple. Lot of,
Prabhuji.
we are all
right.
mesmerized.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhima, bro, for such a wonderful class.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
And I hope you guys please say hello to Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra for me. I do not qualify to be there to bathe Jagannath. I have you as my proxy. You are my link. You devotees, I swear, I'm not just saying this. You devotees are my link. I have no other link to Krishna except through you. So I hope I did something by relating these pastimes. You know, this is all in the books. It's all in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's all in the Bhagavatam. I'm only repeating it. And I hope that somehow I have pleased you. Because if I have pleased this intimate gathering of devotees, then even just one of you, then I have pleased Krishna. And that's what it's all about. So, Hare Krishna. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra. Hari Hari Hari. Oh, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Vancha Kalpatarusha Kripa Sindhu. I bow down to all of you. Patitana Pavana. Save me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees. Now we'll have darshan and kirtan.
Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gora Pani Prashadini Niveseta Sundya Gauri Satya Visata Kei baya yo nyayo gora chande arati gosoba Kei baya yo nyayo gora chande arati gosoba Jana Vitaka Prabhu Nityananda, Yakuaita, Yatahara Sivotade, Gora Bhattavreda. Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nama Krishna, Yatavajan Namaha. Yatavajan, Matavajan, Yatavajan Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Divine Ray about Channel Windham, but the Vanta Solution of Prabhu Ananta Koti Basham and Nagija. Amacharya Hariraka Toki. Principal Secretary Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Chapu, Agata Hamas, Om Prabhu Nagi. This is another piece of Gopi Gopinasam Nagiri Govidan. Brindamandan, की, माधुर भजन की, जमुना की, तुलसी महारानी की जय, श्री कृष्ण महारानी की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत की जय, निताई गौर हरि। Oh, somebody, oh, somebody, oh, somebody, Lord. Namaste Narasrinhaya. Namaste Narasrinhaya. Pralada Hridayani. Idanya Kashi Purvashana. Gaya Sila Tanto Mugolaye. Nisinho Nisinho Yato Yato Nitata Nisinho Yen Nisinho Rita Yen Nisinho Nisinho Natin Suranam Brahmayen Toto Wala Mare Ya Abuta Kringa Olika Iranya Kashipo Tango Kringa Nabatita Namadeluka Ayatakati Kohare Jananati Kohare Ayatakati Kalita Toto Wala Mare Ya Abuta Kringa Olika Iranya Kashipo Tango Kringa Nabatita Namadeluka Ayatakati Kohare Jananati Kohare Srinatagavanti. Pralavaragi. Nagopari.
Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Swami, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Swami, Jai Jagannath. Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Read better. One line here, one line there.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
What's it mean? Anand Madhava. Oh, Hare Krishna. I'm from Toronto. I just moved from Monday. Last year? Studying here? I got a job here. Oh, wonderful. Sorry? You moved here. Oh, for college. Okay. But I mean, like, here. Moving away. Right?
Maybe in 1 week.
Oh, really?
I was supposed to move last week.
I really signed up here. Another part of it.
And my voice
It was perfect.
not until the vocal cords are like nice people. It was very difficult to continue. Yeah, at least if I take a 15 minute break now, I can probably continue after. Because I need to rest.
Yes, voice.
Yeah, so I feel like when there's one person going on, I feel like one degree of because there's many degrees in it. I said one degree of just like do not think out because it's after that.
There is some discussion between LA and New York.
You are talking which like Brooklyn?
Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn.
I'm actually coming like I'm going
Next week? Okay. Maybe I can.
just for I always be there for Sunday program for a couple hours. I'm only there for 2 days.
So I think we should have a Mahasankirtan.
The Saturday of the day I have this somebody calling me.
So, are you going to the Brooklyn or are you going with Mahaprabhu?
With who?
Are you going with Mahaprabhu or with like Brooklyn?
Oh, Brooklyn Temple. Yeah. Mount Sabu is in Atlanta.
He's in Atlanta.
Yeah, they're Brahmachari group. So I know Ashram went to Brooklyn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they stay in Brooklyn.
Okay, got it. They're losing. They're getting a mediocre one. They're losing
No,
next
actually, when I was here, there was no one like the stage final was music and everyone.
Yeah.
I think last 2 years there was no one. But now when I'm going,